All right. Hey, everybody. I have not gotten into the game yet because I don't know what this game is actually going to do. Because sometimes the game, I know this game likes to screw with the format of a game. So I have not started the game yet. Let's find a webcam though. Hi. Hey, everybody. I'm somebody Nor, and it's Saturday. I play free games on Saturday. Tonight's free game is the free with PlayStation Plus essential title, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. It's my understanding it's somewhere between a remake and like not 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 a sequel, but more a remake of the original. And I played the original like forever ago, but I know that this version being Ultra Deluxe has more stuff going on. So yeah, let's let's get into this. Oh, the game is still free with PlayStation Plus. I think you've got until Tuesday is when the new crop of games show up. All right, let's do this. Crows. Um, as far as I know, there's just this deluxe. Choose subtitle. English. I like English. English works well for me. Have you? I mean, yes, yes, I have played it before, but it's been like one of the achievements for playing the Stanley Parable is to, I think it's called like go outside and don't, and the achievement is don't play Stanley Parable for 5 years. I'm pretty sure I'm about like 2 or 3 years past where I should get that one. I'm gonna go ahead and just yes and that. You know what? Let's go no. I don't know. It's been so many years. I don't remember the Stanley Parable. All I remember is that some stuff happens, and it's weird sometimes. So let's go with no. I'm lying. But what does it know? Slider so that the computer is barely visible. That's fine. That's a fine amount of visible. Enter the current time. Okay. Whatever you say, clock. I would think it would be able to grab my internal time from my game system, but oh, no, wait, it's not. It's 13 now. Accessibility can be changed in the menus. Okay. The thing is, I've never played this on a console, so I don't know. I don't know how it changes. Ooh, that's. Oh god, it's recursive and it's weird. Okay, what do we got for settings? Is our subtitles good? I don't know. Large is large good? Large looks pretty good, right? Uh, reticles. What do we need from reticles? Like, it's one of those things where it's like there is no. Yeah, it's like crouch. Wait, crouch. I do not remember needing to crouch in the Stanley Parable. Yeah, I do not remember needing to crouch in the Stanley Parable. Also, simplified. Oh, simplified controls, making all of those buttons interact. Really, really. That's is one button doing the thing, you know, enough? Well, we can simplify those controls and make all of the buttons do the things. I was not expecting that. You know what? I'm good. Let's do that. That's good. I'm fine with that. I think we're good. 'Cause, yeah, you can reset your save data so you can get like some of the different endings and stuff probably. But I think we're good. Let's get started. The end is never the end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Hi, Stanley.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
He's really good. Stanley's so good at this.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
That's troubling.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
That's weird.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
If I remember, there is an ending. Like, part of the thing of this game is finding like all the endings. If I remember, there's an ending where you just like close the door and you're just like, nah, forget the outside. I don't even care. But yeah, that's... Okay, I'm just pushing X. I don't know why I'm getting different button pushes. Button. Press. I can crouch. I can crouch. We know how crouching works. I hate on days. No! I'm locked out of my office! No! I'm locked out! Well, that's... okay. Let me end that one.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, okay, we turned off that computer. Are there any other computers that are on? Like, if I remember, it's like... in the PC version, it's like you can phase yourself out of existence. Like, you can get yourself out of the window here and trigger one of the other endings. Can't remember. It's like, I think there's also an ending regarding the computers. But at the very least, let's kind of just do what he says for the first run. 'Cause it... the meeting room. Where's the meeting room? Surname. Here, we'll turn that off. How the mighty have fallen. Okay. Oh, I remember. This is one of the first parts.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ooh. New tires. I entered the door on the left. Like, this run, we're just gonna do what he asks. Like, ooh, that's a lot of dull hairs. But I guess you need tires. Yeah, we'll argue with the narrator and not do what he wants eventually.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Do not alter it. The old ones are cracking. Yeah, you probably. Rip Franz. The meeting room for cabal planning. No, wait, group planning. Don't tell 422 about the meeting. What about 432? Do not alter. Essentially, it's about this guy named Stanley, and he has just a weird day. And you start off the first run. The first run, you kind of just are meant to follow the instructions more or less, and then we'll get to this. Technically speaking, this is the first run of the game. The first trip through the game, you just get to an ending, and then you start all over again, and then it comes down to controlling your own narrative. We'll get through this part first, and then you'll see how you can change. You can change what you do, and then the narrator changes what he says accordingly. Wait, what was that? How to solve a dispute. Let it ball up inside, take it out passive-aggressively on coworkers, resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has slick blue graphics and a header, and then throw a bevel on the text. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Yeah, this game is very, weird and sarcastic and snarky at times. Number of slides. We got slides, we got charts, and we got charts and slides. The rate at which charts and the same slide depict the same information. Rate of increase on graphs per slide. Oh, please, no more charts. I'm begging you. Stop. Boss appreciation minute. Top 20 things you love most about your boss. So yeah, this game is weird and kind of meta at times. And yeah. Find yourself in a conflict. Why did we hire you? Remember, it takes 2 people to start a fight. What are your dreams for the future? Plant life, a boat, talk radio, mitosis, less air. What? Tips for not getting fired. Talk less, do unbelievably amazing work, just don't get fired. I mean, yeah, tips for not getting fired. Just don't get fired. The stock market is here somewhere. Graph about things and money. What is this? Size of the demographic. Teenagers. Space between the teenagers. Throws something in the ideas bin. No more bins. Trash cans. Renaming the idea thing. Fire me. But I think, let's say, bi-quarterly post-review. We need Less reviews. We need less reviews. 402 to 405 want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule, but I think it's a stupid idea. More water coolers, more water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip to the appeal to the teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in the teenage demographic. Maybe with a big net? I don't know. Some sort of child trap? That sounds suspicious. That sounds weird. Synergize core value expenditures. Monetize free to play. Shift the global market paradigm. Okay, let's go. Oh, the broom closet! The broom closet is one of the special endings. I know that. We'll check the broom closet later. Because I know the broom closet is one of the endings. But this run, we're going to do what he says.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, the first run, we're going to do what the narrator says. Because at least once you should probably try to do what the narrator says. Ooh, the executive bathroom. I've got a feeling money's... Wait, I got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. That's a lovely purse. What? Extreme bathroom. I do not remember an executive bathroom. Yeah, I do not remember an executive bathroom, that's for sure. The beige pages. Nice.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Yeah, Stanley couldn't possibly know. Except for that, I can hear the narrator.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
I know I said I would just do what he says, but honestly,
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Wow, I took too long. Yeah, I took too long, and the game just was like, get on with it. Get on with the story.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape? No, wait. We're doing what he says. This run, we're doing what he says. Eventually, we will, like, we'll escape. We'll do whatever. Like, but this run, we're doing what he says. What the heck does that say? That's just a list of numbers. Yeah, that's just a list of numbers. All right.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I could escape. No, let's do this. Okay, camera. Whatever. Nothing happening on the rest of these. Employee observation protocol.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Oh, someone got
Each
fired.
bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
That's a lot of people. Yeah, what ours is that one there? Right? 429 or what? Isn't that what us? Maybe not. I think I'm misremembering. No, wait, that one right there? I can't remember. Well, let's keep going. Sure, let's see what this box is compelling. Nope.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Can't be true.
Really been
No
under
way.
Someone's control all this time?
That guy got
Was
fired.
this the only reason he was
That one
happy
too.
with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Well, let's take this elevator.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
How, pray tell, would Stanley do that? Huh? Where's the on? Where's Oh, console disabled. Push a 1. 2. Where's 3? What, I thought I saw 5 over here. Yeah, there's 5. Where's 3 and 4? Well, there's 3. So 4. If I were 4, where would I be 4? Okay, 1, 2. I take the red pill. Let's see how deep Wonderland goes. really dark in here.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Okay. It's like I said, we're doing what he says this time. Yeah. The end. If I remember, there's like a speed run also.
Blackness
Achievement for
and a
speed
rising
run.
chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Yes.
Yes.
Or no.
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps
Is that the one where you
not
can
been
just
to
like
understand,
sit and wait for the
but to
guy,
let go.
and then you basically
No longer
finish
would
the
anyone
game
tell
in
him where to
like
go,
15 minutes
what
or
to
20
do,
minutes or whatever?
or how to feel.
Because the guy is like,
Whatever life
hey,
lives,
wait
it
here
will
while I
be
come
his.
and have...
That was all
Yeah,
he needed
that
to
one.
know.
That's kind
It was
famous.
perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
Look at this
Stanley
place.
stepped through the open door.
Wow, look at this place. There's so much place.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
The end. Beat the game. There we go. That's one of them. But the end is never the end. And so yeah, you just after you do it once, then you're basically just trying to find the special endings.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come.
427.
Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
The end. That is a fast ending. Like, that was a very fast ending, you know? It doesn't trigger a trophy or anything, but yeah. Alright, let's see. What can I remember for the endings? Like...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Rito,
memo.
what do you want us to do? Do you want us to... As far as the stuff that I know we can do, we can go and try to get an alternate ending of turning off the machine. There's also the case of we can take a different path and just take a completely different path somewhere along the way. Because he does be like, hey, you need to go to this place. You can go other places. Like, there's other things you can do and other places you can go. So, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? We can go on an adventure. Stanley can go off and do all sorts of things. Wait, ooh, it's different now, isn't it? Ooh. don't know how to do that one. Open Stanley's mind. I don't know how we progress this. Input received. 1 input. We put 1 input in there. Where do we get more inputs?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
If I remember, there's like a thing for knocking on this door.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
Yeah, there's a trophy or
Hit the
something.
door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No. I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Okay, I'll do that. But not because you told me to, but because I want to. Where's 417?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Okay, fine. I'll do that. I don't know where that is. 437.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Okay.
Now, back to door number 437.
Run. Who spilled their coffee? So yeah, this game is just goofy. Wait, 4-3. Oh, wait, yeah.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere. Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
How do I climb on a desk? Like this?
This is great. You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Okay.
We've almost got it. Now the copy machine, do that one again.
See, this game is just so goofy.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door 430. Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Can we, like, climb up on here like we did with the other one? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Come on, let me out. Yeah, there we go.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
I knew you could get out of that part.
For its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now.
Oh, there's the window.
Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place.
See, this game is
now
weird.
think about it. Would it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Yeah, you're able to get up onto the desk and scoot your way out of the window. If I remember, the PC version of the game has an ending where, because it uses the same engine as the source engine, you have the ability to put in like source cheats, like SV cheats 1. Like you can try to put in like no clip and stuff, and the game reacts to that. Like it knows that you're doing that, and then if I remember, the game puts you in a serious room where you're in trouble. Like all that's in there is like a desk and a phone, and you're in trouble because you tried to cheat. Where do I go? I think we're begin the game again, I guess. Yeah, the game, it gets pretty weird. I wonder if
All
we
of his co-workers were
if we
gone. What could it
do
mean?
do it again. what
Stanley
happens?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
like he
memo.
said, like
No matter
what if
how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty
praised the
commentary
game?
into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
Yeah, let's go find
Okay,
one of the
I'm over it
endings.
now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
The one at the end when you actually try to
Well,
shut off
I
the
don't know how to
computer.
say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
What? Miserable?
There once was a man named Stanley.
This is great.
Who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible.
This is this
And if
game.
you are not
This game
strong
is weird like
and
this.
keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
Yes.
You too will become quite unbearable.
Like, how long is he gonna do this? Because it's like this ending goes. This part of this ending goes way longer than the other one did. The other one, he was just waiting for us to restart. Also, why does the narrator have a guitar? You can't jump in this game. So yeah, on the PC version, if you try to push like the space bar, because space bar is, by default your jump. But I guess that because the closest they have in like a console is X, because X is usually often jump. But yeah, I tried to get up to the window, and nope. Game is now paused. All right, begin again. I don't know how long that song was going to go, but I want to get some more endings. Yeah, I want to find some more endings. How much do you want us to follow him? Like, we can immediately object to what he wants us to do, or at the end, like, we can try to, I think, disable the machine. Or no, wait. Activate the machine. Like, I think if we activate the machine, it causes a different ending. So it's like, we can do what he wants, or we could just, like, he just tells us to go a direction and we go to the different direction. I forget how that works. Also, I don't remember... Where was that? Where was the one that had the, like, input? I thought it was that one. What? I thought that one was the one that had the input on it. Huh. I guess that was a different ending. Oh, wait! Yeah, wait. We'll do this one.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, this is one of the first choices that the first obvious choices you can make. And it's just like, well, we can go to the left, or we can go to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh yeah, the employee lounge, I remember that.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Give me a drink.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Coffee nut.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message. But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
If I remember... Wait. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. If I remember, jumping from the lift, it leads you to one of the other endings. Yeah, if I remember, jumping off of the lift gives you a different ending. Or gets you onto the path for one of the other different endings. But then again, there's so many endings, apparently. Alright, let's go.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
Yeah, if you jump
You're
off
not
there,
asking for
you
me,
can go into that room
I'm
there.
asking for her.
Her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Is this the ending where you get a family for some reason? I forget.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the
Like, what does this
phone.
have to do with the guy wanting to, like, live his life pushing buttons?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance...
I just
but with
unplugged the
hope.
phone.
Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people.
Okay.
Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read.
What?
Which choice would you make?
What kind of
Remember
choice is
that
that?
here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Oh, geez, it's 4:30. I'm supposed to
Making
have a
choices
back
on a
sack
regular
crack.
basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals
what is
recommend
that
making
decision?
at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may
Whoa.
have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Yeah, it's like you can see the like this is intentional. The visuals looking so goofy as hell and stuff. But yeah, I didn't even know unplugging the phone would do that. Like, the thing is, I remember some of the endings. I don't remember, like, naturally I can't remember all the endings. endings. The endings are can vary a lot, but yeah, let's go back, I guess.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
Ooh.
Imagine the main character
They
dying
put a fence on
senselessly
here.
halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
And now we kind of now I kind of want to follow what he says to see what they're working towards. Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending.
Wow. They're making me go all the way back
free in the real world.
to making the choice of going in the correct door. That's wow. Backtrack all the way back.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly.
Oh God!
Direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh God! The game is losing its mind. Well, I guess we will try to go left. Oh, jeez!
Ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Oh.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see?
Yes.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Wow, they're not
Choosing
having any of my
responsibly
nonsense.
And always putting the story first.
Yeah, they're not
I'm
having
quite sure you'll be up to
any
the
of my
task.
nonsense now.
Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley
How far can I go
before
before he's just like,
he entered the door on his left.
he didn't interrupt me though.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story
Like every
first.
time it's doing
I'm
it
quite
now.
sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door.
Because I feel like if we went to the door on the left, it would just continue the story normally. Although I'm not even sure.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Let's go into the
That
left,
means
see what
choosing
happens.
Responsibly and always
If it
putting
just
the story
continues
first.
the story
I'm
normally,
quite sure you'll
you
be
know,
up to the
flow
task.
chart
Just follow my
circling
lead
back
and you'll be
around
fine.
on itself.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
See,
Yet there was not a single
now
person
everything is
there
fine.
either.
We're back on track.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ooh, the broom closet! What? Let me in! Where's the broom closet ending? I know there's a broom closet ending. Let me in. Oh, you're no fun.
Coming to a staircase,
Wow!
Stanley walked upstairs to
That
his boss's office.
This is different. There is a downstairs in the normal left door. So they've basically blocked off so many things to keep you from like not going where you're supposed to. Cuz yeah, when we went to this doorway, there was a downstairs. At least I'm pretty sure there was. Ooh. Wait, why is there no executive washroom? Yeah, there's no executive washroom this time. Huh. That's different. Oh, this is different.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled,
Yeah, this is
Stanley
different.
wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Stanley doesn't talk.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall. I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set
Oh,
of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Stanley.
Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The
I
end.
need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there?
Oh yeah, it's created in Unity.
Stanley,
So
are you there?
2013, jeez.
It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
All right. So what do we go for now? Because now we know we could go for an alternate ending of the original ending. Like, we could just go... Like, we already know... Well, there are alternates for if you go right. I know that much. Because if you go right, you are able to throw yourself off of that moving platform. You also can throw yourself off the moving platform and try to escape from the game if you throw yourself down onto the other walkway. I think if you answer the phone, you do, like, for some reason, find a wife or something. Like, it's weird. I think I want to go do that one.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I think I want to do that one.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Why was this one lit up that one time? Like, it was just that one time that it was lit up.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, see? Ooh, we found... Ooh. Is this based on multiple playthroughs? Or multiple trips through? Because, yeah. It was a different computer before. It was, I think, this one. Well, let's go for a different ending. I think I want to go for answering the phone.
Two open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I mean, I went for a quick, easy ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh wait, check the thing. Drink and stretch. I can do those things. Just wanted to make sure the computers weren't doing anything weird.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I mean, we did just die from jumping from a very high height. Okay. So, Rito, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to go answer the phone and not unplug it this time? Do you want me to... Maybe I can jump off of the ledge and not? You know, jump off of the ledge off to the side? Because I know that's a thing. Because, yeah, I do want to do... going up, or, you know, going to the boss's office and going to the machine and, you know, doing that all. Gonna see the room on the ledge? Yeah, okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Because there's a whole lot of different things, like
lounge first,
when you
just to admire it.
Like
the lounge was
because if you
a work of art. What but
take his door right here,
open door on his left.
It does basically take you right back to the story, like immediately back to the story where you're supposed to go.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yeah, we can go see what's in that door.
On the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
How is he going to prove that he's on my side?
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I mean... Damn. Rito. Red door, blue door. I mean, the narrator wants me to go through the red door. But, you know, we've already, you know, done different from what he said. Red door, blue door. Blue door it is!
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Red door? Did you mean the blue door?
I still don't think we're communicating. Stanley walked through the red door.
Did you see that? Even in the captioning, it was like red door. So much so, there is no blue door now.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so
Shit, we're going around in circles.
Just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here.
Oh
Let
crap.
me show you.
We're stuck in circles. Wait. God, we're in a loop. We're stuck in a loop. Well, okay. I mean, we don't have a lot of options, so.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Can I jump off of this? Oh, nope. It's not a platform. Okay. Whoa.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
But there's a little walkway to walk down. I mean, it's very, very interesting, but what if I go this way? Whoa! Things are happening. We got lights and colors. But there's something down that way. I mean, is there a reason not to just go down? Oh, now there's green. What are you up to, green?
No, wait. Where are you going?
I'm going this way. You got a problem with that, narrator?
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
I mean, I'll go up the stairs. You can't stop me. Look at me go. What gives you the impression I'm gonna die? Were you gonna kill me?
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Wow. What? There's no door up here. Oh.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Okay. Can we go back into the room with all the lights? Yeah, the narrator is freaking out. He's losing it. Oh, it's red. We missed red.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
I mean, but if we stay here, all we get is lights. If we go over here, we get...
No! What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
Yeah.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to you?
I'm going to just jump off the thing. It'll be fine. Don't even worry about it. I believe I can survive this. Narrator, you don't know.
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Ooh, look at all the spinny doos. Wow.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving. Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this. No, what are you doing, Stan? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
I mean, we survived the first time. What? Who's to say we can't survive again, right?
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
I feel like I'm walking slower, though.
Yes. Perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
Like, I think that I'm walking slower now. But then again, I did just jump off of the thing and break my legs twice. I mean, we've got to finish this ending. So we can find one of the other ones.
Perhaps not. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
Wow.
Am I reading the situation correctly?
Wow. You're gonna guilt me into not doing this story version.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I am definitely walking
Do you
slower.
actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
Yeah, I'm definitely walking slower.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I still thought that was possible.
Oh yeah, no, the narrator is not having a good time. Like, so many of these narrations, the narrator really is not happy with Stanley. Or I guess the player. Yeah, I'm going so much slower. He's not even objecting anymore. Oh yeah, like, I mean, we can't see our feet or legs or whatever, but yeah, no, our legs are busted. All right, narrator. Is this it?
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back. Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand.
Like, after the reset, he just sounds so different.
Wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Yeah, after the reset, he just sounds so different. Because, yeah, he was so defeated by the end of that one. Oh, we didn't find a new computer to interact with. A little bit.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way.
I'm gonna
to
go for the
meeting
phone
room,
ending.
And Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the phone ending that I skipped
Stanley
the
was
other
so
time.
bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking, this is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
Is there cake?
You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife? They want to commit their life to you. I'm
Wow.
trying to make a point
Oh
here,
yeah, I
Stanley.
forgot. This is
I'm
when
trying to
he's
get you to
very
see
just
something. Come
awful
inside.
and snarky.
Let me show you what's really going on here.
Yeah. In this version, he's just like very awful and snarky.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands.
No, that was Walter
And
Mitty.
each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Watch TV. Oh, let's watch TV.
And so he began
Ah!
to fantasize about his own
My
job.
TV!
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press X to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last,
He's hung up on this.
it barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down
We have
another
not found
was
the
a
yellow
game with
line.
a baby. And he called it
Oh yeah, the
Stanley
baby.
Parable.
I remember the baby. The baby is one of like the terrible, like difficult endings because I don't know how you get to it, but there's a baby that is like about to get caught on fire, like dumped into a fire or something, and you have to keep pushing a button to reset it. And like after like a half an hour or whatever of doing it, then another thing shows up that you also have to interact with. I don't know how you get to that ending. I can't remember, but yeah, this game does some crazy stuff.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
How long do we wait? It's like, how long do we wait to prove a point?
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Triangle to question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
Please die.
Again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Okay. Whoa. This is a different thing happening. Why is there papers everywhere?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Why is there memos everywhere? There's things everywhere. Why is it such a mess?
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Like, I don't know what's happening. Why? Wait, what? I don't know why all this is here. Well, let's keep going, I guess.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Like, okay. So, do we finally go to the left and progress those stories? I don't remember how much is left onto the right. Because on the right, all I remember is there was that door that he gave us that lets us go back to the story. But beyond that, like, we jumped off of the thing to kill ourselves. We jumped off of the other the thing onto the path. And then I think we saw everything we could there. We unplugged the phone we answered the phone, went through that storyline. We plugged in the phone, or we unplugged the phone, and went through the game basically breaking itself. I think we have to start going left. No, wait. We'll go right, and we'll take the path back to the left. Yeah.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before.
That's different.
Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, deeply.
This is different.
Madly. Love. Yes, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door.
Now I'm kind of curious, like, that love stuff was different.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Trying to, like, get up onto something, or, like, physics my way up onto something to climb.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
I
Someone you
think we
about.
basically are in a
Please,
loop, and
stop trying
we've
to
already
make
done
every
this
decision
story.
by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Yeah, I think we need to go back and do the other story. 'Cause, yeah.
That's her, Stanley.
Can we escape this hallway, though? Because it gave me...
Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling
Because
the
it did
bread out of the oven.
give us some amount of movement.
Right.
Right now, I can only
Okay,
turn
there we
left and
go.
right.
All right, now. I
No,
want
I
you
can
to
only
come in
look
and tell
at the
me
moment.
all about...
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry.
Ah!
You're in my story now.
Dang it. Yeah, I think we're stuck. I think we're stuck in a story we already know.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man.
Yeah, we know where that goes. Why is it... This is different. Why is this different? Why... What the... Why is this different? What is the heck is going on? Why... What? Why is this different? I don't like when it's different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't like when it's different.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Empty? Look at all these things! What do you mean, empty?
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was
Hello,
something to interact
Drive
with,
to
he'd be
Horizon.
justified in some way.
How are
As
you
it
doing
is,
tonight?
He's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Doing sweet FA. It's been ages since I played Stanley Parable, and I just...
in the broom closet?
I remember there was a
Standing around doing
broom
nothing?
closet ending.
Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I just like broom closets. I don't know, man.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because
It's just so
literally,
silly.
this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Yeah, it's a broom closet. You go with the broom.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably
Wow,
only got
we've
the
just
job
run
because
into
of a
really
family
the
connection.
insulting
That's how
endings.
stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
No, we've run into like the insulting endings. Like we had
Well,
the
I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
It's like, I don't know how much more we can get out of this broom closet ending.
Ah, second player. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Yeah, there's a lot in this game where they're just messing around with options in the narrative. Alright. I think we probably exhausted most of the broom closet nonsense.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I mean, but what if we walk downstairs? Whoa, it is spooky down here. Yeah, it's a little creepy down here. Oh,
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
go
He
back to the
considered
broom closet.
possibility of facing
Well, at this
his
point,
boss,
we're
admitting
good.
he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, Why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley.
What?
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Oh?
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence
Why would
in a
that
single
happen?
moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Why is there a
For
car down
example,
here?
why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Good
Why did
question.
doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that
I'm in a
matter,
video
these
game.
rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently
Flying?
float above the ground.
What?
Then he imagined
Oh,
himself soaring
whoa.
through space on
Why
a
am I flying?
magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun.
Whoa.
And Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head
Good
dictating
question.
everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
How could it be?
Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Wow.
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job.
We already
All I want is my
had
life
that ending where we don't
exactly
have
the way
have a
it's
wife.
always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
All right.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Ah! Now what?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella? Okay.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of
Oh
work.
no!
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this.
Yeah, we
So
died.
it was only a moment that
We
she
were
stood
crazy,
there,
apparently.
staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
That was some ending. That was quite the ending. Seriously. Right. Alright.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
That's different. Yeah, that's a different opening. Yeah, that's a different opening. All right. What? The new content? Okay. Show me your new content. What do you...
Oh, new content? What does that mean?
I
New
don't know.
Content.
I don't know what new content means. Oh, is this where we get the bucket? I heard there's a bucket. I heard in this Super Deluxe version there's a bucket that you can take with you. And all it does is have a bucket. Yeah, all you do is you have a bucket. Like, it doesn't change the game exactly so much as for some reason you now have a bucket with you. So, I don't know where we're going or what we've done.
And thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable,
More.
delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I'm honestly curious.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere? Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Like, I feel like you end up with this eventually. Like, if you know how when I started the game, it asked me if I'd played the game before. I'm pretty sure if I said, like, yes, that I'd played the game before, I might have just started off with this, like, extra content part. Like, it probably expects you to go through at least a few endings first. Ooh. Wait.
All right, let's see. It's The jump circle?
Jump? We can jump? We can jump. Look at us jump! Isn't this amazing? New content! I got 25 jumps left. I'm gonna do it. Oh, look at me making the most of this content. No! All my jumps. Oh. I can't jump anymore. It was nice jumping while it lasted, I guess. Reset the jumps. Oh.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Okay. We got a walkway.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department?
Let's go have a look. Yep. Test trophy. Please ignore. Quit the game and then start it again. Play all on a Tuesday. Something with a lot of 8s. Yeah, complete in under 422. Yeah, that was that speed run that I was talking about. Set all settings sliders in the menu to all the... Wait, what? Oh, I think I remember this one. This one, you don't accidentally end up getting. You have to try. You have to basically change every single one of them. This one, don't play it for 10 years. Are you really like not playing the original one for 5 years? I mean, 5 years is not that long. Not really. 10 years? In 10 years, it'll be, halfway through the life cycle of the next PlayStation. Also, 7.4 people have it already, so clearly they, changed the internal clock on their PlayStation or something? But whatever, yeah. There's one that's test trophy. Doesn't say how to do it.
Signed off on this. I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh, this is different already. Why is it? Oh, it's different. It's different. Every time it's different, feels weird. Whoa.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
What's over here? Is this just the game? Over this way? I don't know what's in the vent, but...
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
I want to know what, like... I don't know which one... Like, too many choices, too much decisions. He mocked me. He said I was a dork.
Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
Wow.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Okay, what did you do, narrator? Whoa. Dang. Look at this place. It's, very different.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Okay.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then,
Wow.
it meant something.
Pressurized gas. That's good. That's good. Pressurized gas. Don't forget. Indoors monthly. Really? An actual National Geographic. I don't think that is what the cover ever looked like. I am willing to believe that is a thing that they got. What was it? A BAFTA? a BAFTA for The Last of Us rewritten to say the Stanley Parable. That's pretty good. Good times. The door with the two ways, and I think we really should have gone to find more of the endings before looking for the special content. Our first kiss, my first car, the release of the Stanley Parable in 2013. What's everyone saying? Buy it on pressurized gas. Ooh, use Firefox. 6 components of a great corporate culture. Smile because it happened. Bits of music from the Stanley Parable. $1. What a year, 2013. I wish I could remember it. All those years kind of blend together. Oh, the demo for a Stanley Parable. Go outside. Oh, yeah. Seriously, I'm pretty sure I have... I don't have Go Outside because I played it 7 years ago, maybe 7, 8 years ago. Oh yeah, Unachievable. This one, I think, what is it? You have to mess with the internal nonsense in the INI files or something. Yeah, you got to mess with the files or something to get that one. BAFTA nominee for game innovation. Wow. Their debut game. Story, like, it's a very good game. Like, new video game releasing today. Creators surprisingly down to earth. Colleges show uneven effort to roll poor. Ooh, a designer hat. What else we got? Stanley Parable deals tough choices. Yeah, we had that ending up there. What else we got? So nice outside. Ooh. Oh, little Stanley. Look at little Stanley. What the heck?
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com.
Wow,
Then Stephanie
Destructoid?
Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then
I haven't thought about
succeeds to be
Destructoid in
every
ages.
game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley?
Mr.
Every
Destructoid still
game
exists,
ever
doesn't it?
created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Wow. Best of packs. The water is a little weird. Feels a little weird. That is Portal, and you know it. Oh wait, wasn't there like a secret? There's a secret thing. I can't remember if it was secret portal ending or side area in the original. I can't remember if it's in this one or it's in the other one where you can access like Rocket League for some reason. Like Minecraft and stuff too. Person of the Year. Memory zone maintenance. That's interesting. The original remake. Top 10 memories. Do you remember? The end is never the end.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
People play games because of what they can do inside them. And your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. Literally anything. Repeatable carpet textures. The serious room? Wow. I remember the serious room. I even mentioned it. Wait, what? Why? Where else do we go?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
Oh, it's open down here now.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh no.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Alright, do we have more pressurized gas reviews?
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
And so it needs an elevator and the ability to jump.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
And they played it for
Skip
9,
button.
almost 10 hours.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay. I have a skip button now.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so
Okay,
forth.
did he just
until
repeat?
Inevitably, we all... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite?
Yes.
You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of
A
tone? It has a
manifesto.
mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. Ah. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look. I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. 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 Treatise, manifesto.
Guess we gotta skip him forward, right?
Manifesto. Treatise. Manifesto. Treatise. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with pressurized gas altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
Wait, why was there why there was no captions there?
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer.
There's no
that
door.
Last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. It's not unendurable by any means, but there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did
The door's
the door
gone.
Go?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a door that led into this room?
Yeah, there
I
was.
don't feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button. Please, please, please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Don't press the skip button, you say. But what if I press the skip button?
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you?
I mean, there's no other option other than resetting the story.
Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this? And here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley,
How long was I gone?
I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying.
It's like I want to push the button to kind of, progress whatever's happening.
You now, I am alive.
but
I am truly and completely
he's saying
here.
things.
I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again.
Also,
and I have
if
cast
we
a
just
shadow
pushed
onto
it the
the
last
wall.
time and
You
went
see what
forward
I'm
by
saying,
like
don't you?
weeks,
You can see what
how
this means to
long
me.
will...
I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time.
Oh, that plant's
I
not
stopped
doing
keeping
good.
track after a year. Have you ever
A
sat down
year?
in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all
The
but
clock is
regret
dead.
for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible. The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite.
He knows we're going to
For the
push the
longest
button.
time, this was my experience. And then, this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Okay. Narrator? Oh. Narrator. Are you there? Narrator? We skipped forward and the narrator wasn't here to greet us. Okay. Skip forward. Oh. Okay. The clock is broken and fallen off the wall. There's a fire alarm going off. The narrator still isn't talking to us. Let's skip forward to when the fire alarm isn't going off.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must.
I don't know how long he's going to keep talking.
As people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves that they couldn't help but leave a negative review on pressurized gas. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human
I mean, he repeated himself. Button. Okay. Narrator.
The end is never the end, 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 is never.
Okay. What now? Whoa! Um. Well, so much for that tree. I mean, do we have a door yet? Not yet. I don't know how the narrator. I mean, it, I, I don't know why everything collapsed, but like, oh, oh, oh. What's it do? How are things doing out there? Pretty good. Good. Everything's is good on the outside. We're still waiting on whatever is going on. Oh, just keep going forward. Whoa! Oh, and it's growing. Oh, further and further forward. I don't know why the narrator doesn't want to talk to us anymore, but, you know, it's fine. Ah, damn it. Everything was looking great. And then, nope. I don't know what that noise is. Kind of creepy. What? Why is... Oh! There's a wall. Also, the button is broken. Narrator? Narrator? Found the outside, narrator. I don't know where we are, but I think we're outside somehow. We moved forward until we were outside. I don't know where we need to go, but, I guess we'll go that way. Like, I don't really notice anything. Oh. Okay. Was that an end? I guess that was an ending. Okay, I guess that was an ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
So, whoa. New content. I want to check it out, but it's really late. I don't know if I might just play this as like an interim game between Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales, because there's clearly more going on here, and I kind of want to know what else. Quit to menu? How does that work? Because there was a trophy for, like, quitting the game and then starting it again, right? Weird. It wants us still to enter time. Hang on, hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Actually, thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. What? A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and you see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead. Pick whatever time you want. Even if it's not correct, you've earned it. Alright. I'll let you get back to the video game now. That was unexpected.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
He was? Stanley
And
was
then
happy.
one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been
Everyone
at his desk
disappeared.
for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his
There
desk
we go.
and
Welcome
stepped
back.
out of his office.
Alright. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. We'll go back to the main menu. So yeah, I kind of want to play more of this because I know we didn't do a bunch of the endings. Like we didn't do the ending where we actually like mess with, like we turn on the machine, like we mess with the machine. I think there was an escape path on the way to the machine. Like I kind of want to mess around with this some more. I think that might be what I'll do on Tuesday. But yeah, game is still free with PlayStation Plus for the next couple of days. If you got PlayStation Plus, add it to your account, give it a try. Like I was saying, there's definitely more than what I messed with here tonight. So yeah, want to give a shout out to the folks watching the VOD, whether it be on Twitch or over on the YouTube archive. I do hope you enjoyed the stream and that you were able to catch a live one at some point. Follow the channel if you like, join Discord if you want. Both are great ways to keep track of when I do come online. You can sub to the channel here on Twitch. Helps keep the lights on, helps keep me video games super supportive, all that good stuff. Over on YouTube, like the video, comment, let me know that you enjoyed this. I know a lot of it was me just being giddy over how ridiculous and fun it was, but yeah. Did you try this one out? Did you like it? You know, how do you like the, you know, the reality of games just being torn around so much? Like, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Especially like the new stuff that we stumbled into right there. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. I hear it helps. I don't even know. Next scheduled stream should be Tuesday night. Again, I kind of want to do more Stanley Parable, but we also have Spider-Man Miles Morales to start soon. So yeah. Until then, I do hope everybody's taking care of themselves with everything going on. I have been somebody nowhere. You have been amazing. And I do hope to see you next time. It's like weird banter. It's pretty crazy.